Version 8.0 was released in November of 2024. Some highlights of the features that were in with this version were auto sizing of columns and temporary filters. Also with version 8.0, we upgraded our data grid solution from JQ Grid to AG Grid. This change brings several improvements and new features that will enhance your experience with our application. AG Grid represents a significant step forward in data grid technology that was shown at MCon 2024. It offers enterprise-grade features, better performance with large data sets, and more flexibility for future enhancements. This upgrade also aligns with our commitment to providing you with the best tools for data management and analysis. So the first one to show you is our auto size this column or auto size all columns. This allows users to automatically adjust the width of a single column or columns on the report. These changes are saved to the report settings. To access these settings, click on the three-dot icon on the column that you're wanting to auto size. And select auto size this column, or if you want to auto size all columns on your report, do the same, click the same three-dot icon on any column on your report and select auto size all columns. So here on my example, you can see that I did an auto size all columns, and you can see that they have now been all auto sized. Another feature that went out with version 8.0 is our temporary filter. This option is equivalent to our measure filter by value feature within the report writer. However, it has more operators and is performed directly against the data grid. This is a built-in feature of AG Grid, and this does not follow through to exports or alerts and is not saved to your report. To access this feature, you'll also click the three-dot icon for the column you want to filter, click and select temporary filter, and then select the operator. For my example, I selected gross sales or breakfast greater than 300 to display. And then you can see here that my report's been filtered. And it'll show a little filter icon when you've done that. All right. The next version that we did was 8.1. This was released in December of 2024. In version 8.1, we rolled out our new feature, Column Statistics. Column Statistics provides an in-depth insight into the characteristics and distribution of data within individual columns. To access Column Statistics, you'll click on the same three-dot icon on the column you're interested in reviewing Column Statistics for, and you'll see the Column Statistics option here. Once you click that, a modal will display and provide you all the information about the column that you selected. So what is this data? So the data definitions is distribution is the average of the value of collection of numbers, distribution median. So I'm going to use my little pointer so you can see it. Here, this is the middle number of the list of values within your column. Standard deviation. This indicates how much the values in a data set typically differ from the mean or average of the data set. Max, this is the largest number in the data set. So when I'm talking about data set, I'm talking about the column of your report that you selected. Min is the smallest number in the data set. Range, this is the difference between the highest and the lowest values. Sum, it's the total obtained by adding together a set of values. Down here, we have the count. This is the count of values in your data set, or if you want to think about it as the rows, right? And then you have the total, and then you have the unique. The unique is the unique values within a data set. So I have 39 rows, they're all gross sales. So not one store has the exact gross sales in my example, so I have a unique of 39. Percentiles. These represent the values. So for 25th percentile, this represents the values which 25% of the observations in the data set fall. And then the 75th percentile is the value which 75% of the observations in the data set fall. Your outliers, then this is the number of observations in the data set that are out of the range of the lower and upper bounds. And then here's your lower bound. This is the lowest number that can be rounded to get a specific estimated value. And then your upper bound is the highest number that can be rounded to get your specific estimated value. All right. next? So the next version that we did was 8.2. This one was actually released last week. Two features that went out on this release were dimension maintenance import and the mobile version update. So the first one that we're going to talk about, and I'm thrilled to unveil, was an exciting new feature in dimension maintenance, is the ability to import. The dimension maintenance import feature in Mirus allows users to efficiently manage and update dimension data within the system. This feature enables users to import multiple dimensions at once, streamlining the process of maintaining and updating dimension information. If you're not familiar or not sure where dimension maintenance lies, it's in the tool tab within Mirus, and then you'll see dimension maintenance 3.0. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select my dimension group that I'm going to use for our example today, which is item. Notice when I select item, now there is an option here, import data. This is the tool that you'll use to import the data into Mirus, but there's a few steps that we're going to take before we do this. I'm going to go ahead and add 3 dimensions to my grid. So I'm going to do these 3 here, import date, name, and number, click add to grid. And then I'm going to use the filter option here. Let me actually do this, make it a little bit easier for you guys. I'm going to select the dimension minor name. I'm going to select equals, and I'm going to go ahead and click cookies, apply. So what I've done now is I filtered my data grid to only show me my items that are in the minor category of cookies. Close that. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use our export tool first. I'm going to go ahead and name this. I'm going to just put today's date and then cookies. I'm going to do my export type of XLS and click save. And now I have my export from dimension maintenance now in my Excel or XLS software. And what I'm going to do, first thing I'm going to do is you can see that I have a row for every single, the 700 rows that were in my grid. But I really don't need them all to update my import. I just need the unique identifiers, or the unique rows. So I'm going to go ahead and select all of my columns. I'm going to go to my data. And I'm going to do highlight duplicates, and I'm actually going to remove the duplicates based on the item name and item number. So this is telling me I have these chocolate chip and these oatmeals, and then their item numbers. So this is really what I wanted to focus on. I want to make sure I gather the item numbers for each with the chocolate chips. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my import date, which is today for me. My import name, I'm just going to put cookies. And my import number, I'm just going to put 1. Here, I'm just going to drag this down. Cookies, I'm also going to drag down because I want them to all have the same values. And then import 1, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to make this a numeric. And the reason I'm making this one numeric is just so when we import it, you can just kind of see one difference, right? Instead of all of them the same. I'm going to go ahead and close to save as, just so I like to keep record of my imports, like my export, and then which one I imported, just for my sanity. So I'm going to go ahead and click this as my import or save it. All right, so now I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to go back to this screen here in dimension maintenance. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select import data. Notice when I do that, my screen changes. It says drop a spreadsheet file here. So I'm going to go into my documents where I just saved that file. You can see it right here. And I'm going to click and I'm going to drag it into Mirus. When I do that, you'll see that my screen has updated to display the information that I am going to import. The next thing here is you'll notice that there's 2 sections here. One is to select the dimensions that you want to import, and then there's an operator here that tells you what you want to do with that information. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill these all out and do item name. On item name, because it is a unique identifier, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select match because I want it to match on item name. The same for item number. Go ahead and click match. And then these are one of the ones I updated. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select the dimension. And then I'm going to, for these ones, I'm going to select update. Okay. So let's say I was here and I went and I accidentally clicked the wrong one. See, this is import name and this is import number. Easy way to fix that is just backspace. And then you'll see that you can change it. So don't worry about accidentally clicking the wrong dimension in this step. You can go ahead and change it back, or you can fix it. Here, I'm going to select update. And then for import number, I'm going to select that one. And I'm also going to update. All right, once I have them all, you'll see here that they're just listed. I'm going to click submit changes. It's going to tell me my updating of my values or updating my dimension values. Just wait. We're going to wait just a few. I guess once it's updating, I can still talk about the dimension maintenance import. There are a few things to note when you are doing a dimension maintenance import. If you have any rows, like when you're updating, the reason I also kind of remove the duplicates or remove the excess rows from my import is I wanted to make sure I didn't have any empty cells in my data. All right, and now it's been updated. Sorry, so I was trying to make a space. So now you can see that even though I only updated the 9 rows, every single oatmeal and chocolate chip cookie has been updated. So that is how you use our import feature. Just another thing, so as I was still talking, make sure that you don't have any empty cells in there, and also make sure that your data, I'm gonna go back, open it here, make sure that you have a header row here. So if you're going through and you're not using the export, and you're just creating the file to do yourself, make sure you still do have a header row because that's the data that shows up at the top of the screen, so where you know the match. Another thing is, I'm gonna go here, and I'm actually gonna do the import data again, just to show you another thing. So when I'm doing a lot of these, or I know that you guys are using this a lot, or hopefully will be, that you'll have many different things that you need to update. And one way that that you can do that is I'm going to open this one up real quick. And you'll notice in this one, I have many different things that I was doing, and I have about 10 sheets on this workbook of different items. And if I go ahead and I minimize this, and I click this one, which is the multiple import. So this is the one with the multiple tabs. If I click and drag this, you'll notice that you get a pop-up now. So you can have them all in the same workbook, keeping it nice and organized, and then you just select the worksheet that you want to import the data from. So I'm gonna go ahead and click baskets on this one, and then you can see that my baskets, that data came through. So it's a nice way of keeping it all organized within your system or your computer, and then so you're not losing track of what you're updating or importing. And so that's the nice part with the workbook.